Monday, August 3rd, 2020, and we are on our way. We're actually almost there. We're going to the Minnesota Zoo today. And if you've watched my channel for a while, you know that we are members of the Minnesota Zoo. And I have done 2 videos at the Minnesota Zoo so far. I did a very long one showing like basically the whole zoo a year ago in July was when we were there, about the same time of year. And then I said we were going to go back every season. Okay, we went back in the fall and I did a video on that, and Andrew was with us. And then we didn't get to go back again. We never made it there in the winter. I don't know, we just got busy or the weather wasn't cooperative or whatever. And then by spring it was closed because of the pandemic. So it has been closed for at least 4 months, and it just reopened a couple weeks ago, I think. The purpose of today's video is I want to show you what they're doing to have the zoo open during the pandemic, so you can get an idea of what zoos might be like if you choose to visit a zoo during the pandemic. We are also going to be visiting another zoo, which I am not going to name right now, hopefully in a few weeks, and so I'll be making a video about that, so you'll be able to see a couple different places. And I really want to emphasize that if you have a zoo near you that is a member of the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, those are good zoos. Those are zoos that really care about animal care, conservation, and protection. The Minnesota Zoo is a member of the AZA, and that's why we're members there. First of all, when you consider going to a zoo, check if they're a member of the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, because then you know that they're actually really concerned about animal protection and conservation, and not just letting you get close to animals and look at them for fun, okay? And then also try to support your local zoo if you can, because zoos are really having a hard time with the pandemic. It costs basically just as much money for a zoo to be closed as it does for a zoo to be open. And the reason for that is because of the care of the animals. Just feeding the animals is extremely expensive. And a lot of zoos are in danger of closing permanently because of having to be closed so long for the pandemic. And unfortunately, that in itself is a whole nightmare, because they would have to relocate somehow all those animals, which in itself is a very complex and expensive process. And where are they going to go? Because zoos literally everywhere in the world are either closed or struggling to stay open. So try to be supportive of your zoos. Most zoos will accept donations. You know, our membership is helping them. I did renew our membership just in the last month. They gave me a month free membership, you know, as kind of a bonus. And then a couple of things that they're doing, I know so far at the Minnesota Zoo here today, which we're going to look at. The main entrance that we would normally go in that I've showed in the past is not open. They're having us go in a different way. It's actually the older way that you used to go in the zoo. It's also the entrance that you would use in the summer if your kids go to zoo camp, which my kids have done. And then they're routing us around the zoo in a certain direction, so everybody can only go one way. So we're going to see what that's like. And masks are required, and I'm sure they're doing like extra sanitation measures and stuff. But I will show you as we go around. I'm not going to show too much of the animals and stuff today, because you can go back and look at my other video for that, wherever it is up there. But I do want to show you what kind of precautions and measures they have in place to make it safe for visitors during the pandemic. They are reducing how many people they are letting into the zoo. It is a timed entry reservation system. I didn't have much trouble. I only reserved these tickets maybe 3 or 4 days ago. So I was able to get the day I wanted to come. I picked today because it's a little bit cooler today. It's only in the 60s and very pleasant today. It's sunny and cooler. I did notice though, the first time I went to pick my time for today's tickets, I wasn't logged in. And so it didn't recognize me as a member. And I think I was trying to get them for like 10 o'clock or 10:30. And so then I went, oh, whoops, I gotta log in. So then I logged in, and then I went back, and by the time I went back, it had only been like 30 seconds. That entire time was gone. So I feel like it must be a very limited number of tickets that they have available, because I don't know how many people would be coming here on a Monday morning. So it's probably pretty low. So we'll kind of see, because we know what crowd levels are like at the zoo normally, and we should be able to tell how much different it is. I'm gonna turn the camera around so you can see how when we enter the zoo this other way. If you go back and look at my videos from before, you'll be able to see, at least the one from last summer, you'll be able to see when we come into the main entrance of the zoo, usually we turn left. And this time they're gonna actually be sending us to the right. So I'm gonna turn the camera around so you can see what that's like. Okay, we just came into the parking. Hopefully you could see that they actually had cones so you couldn't go to the left when you came into the zoo. The kids are saying there's a lot of people here. There's a moderate amount of cars. The zoo opens at 10 now. Normally it would open at 9, and it doesn't open until 10. 10 was the first time you could get a ticket for. And you might have noticed that there were some signs that said online tickets only. You cannot just show up and buy tickets. You have to buy them online before you get here for a certain entry time. It's 11:20 right now, and our entry time is 11:30, and you have to come within a half an hour of either side of your entry time. So I'm going over here and parking in the shade and away from other cars. We are going to need a minute to get our sunscreen on, so we should be entering just about right when our ticket time is. So she quickly scanned our tickets. She reminded us to keep our masks on the entire time because they are required. And she said it is a one-way path to the left. We have sanitizer stations right when we come in, and lots of signs that say keep left. So as you can see here, this is the old way that you used to come into the zoo a long time ago. Extra kind of overflow entrance that they use in the summer, and this is the way the camp kids come in. In there is the Tropics Trail. Okay, I just talked to a staff member and was clarifying our options for the route. What do you guys want to do first, inside or outside?
Inside.
Inside? Okay, we're gonna do inside first. It is a little tricky to social distance. Oh, this is different. We are doing the Minnesota Trail backwards. So normally we would go in over there and you do it counterclockwise, but they've got us doing it clockwise because it looks like everything is stay left, stay left, stay left. So the first thing we're going to come to is the lynx on the right and the black bears on the left. Thanks, bud. Ben just noticed they have taken out the stamper things.
Do you touch them?
Because you would touch them. Lots of people would touch them. So this is an interactive kids activity that you would normally do, but they've taken them all out so that nobody's touching them. This is the mountain lion. And I can see it's way up top there sleeping. Oh, he moved. She, I don't know. I am not gonna lie, there are too many people. This is not what I would consider low capacity, at least not in here. It's very difficult to stay 6 feet apart from people. Because of the number of people in this trail and because we all have to go the same direction, you have to basically stop and wait because, you know, you really can only each be standing at each exhibit at one place. And so there's a lot of stopping and waiting for people to look at the animal and then move out of the way. Here's a sign that says, for your safety, touch item has been removed. Normally you could feel wolf pelts here, and they also said not to touch the wolf sculpture. Oh yeah, and the little flip over informational sign. So one thing, I'm hearing a lot of parents, there's a lot of kids younger than my kids, and I'm hearing a lot of parents constantly saying, don't touch, don't touch, don't touch anything. They're having to constantly remind their kids not to touch. So that would
good though.
Yeah, that's good, but that would be challenging. And it is going to decrease the interest and entertainment value of the zoo for young children during this time because they can't touch anything. And it might be hard for little kids to understand that they have to stay away from other people. They've moved the fox. He got a new, bigger exhibit. He used to be in with the raccoon in the log cabiny thing, and he got a new, bigger spot out here. I don't know what was here before. I'm kind of glad they did that because he and the raccoon did not like each other.
He gets sun.
Yeah, and he gets outdoor stuff now too.
The wolves must be in. It's about lunchtime.
Yeah, I wonder where we have not seen any wolves. And then the coyotes are over here. They've got this area completely closed off. I don't know if it's because, what's that? Oh, it's Fisher. Sleeping right by the glass. No sign of the coyotes either. They might be sleeping because it's warm. It's the middle of the day. This is where the fox used to be, but it says now that they just got an opossum, which that makes more sense. Because there's no natural light in this exhibit, and so the fox probably wasn't the happiest in here. Whereas the possum and the raccoon are nocturnal. I don't see either of them. In their little houses, maybe? We wanted to skip the tropics trail, but we can't. Okay, this is basically saying that they know that animals can get the virus too. So they're protecting the animals from us. If you haven't seen in the news, they've gotten some tigers, lions.
That's a big turtle, huh?
That is a big turtle. Dogs, cats have all had the virus, and I saw one German Shepherd died of it. So we're now going through the tropics trail, also backwards. We're going in the opposite direction than we would normally go. This is interesting. It says animal habitat altered for safety. They put a, what? Oh, there they are. It put a plastic sheet. This is not for our safety. This is for the animals' safety. This is so that the tamarins do not get the virus from us. They did the same thing over here. They put up plastic sheeting by the tiki monkeys. So they're going to pretty extensive lengths. This is even tighter than the other thing was. I'm not liking this at all. Where's the red panda?
There.
Oh! Okay, I don't recall ever looking from this angle before. Didn't there used to be something here?
No.
But we're looking at the red panda from, well, I know what it is again. We don't usually walk in this direction. So I've never thought to turn around and look back down. Ben was just saying he doesn't like this part because it's scary. It is kind of scary. It's dark. There's snakes and bats. Are there bats? Megan just noticed that these signs are probably marking 6 feet distance. And I imagine it's because of this. We're gonna get backed up here and people might be waiting. And so they want us to be able to see how far apart 6 feet is. So you don't wanna go closer than that to the next group. I was saying I don't really understand why they have us going backwards through the whole thing, because they very easily could have had us go the normal direction.
I don't think so. I think it's easier this way with where the entrances are
In relation to the exhibits?
in relation to each other.
Oh. I mean, I'm sure they gave it lots of thought, but yeah, we're getting backed up here a little bit because this is the bottom of the red panda exhibit. We're stopped and there is a bad backup here. A zoo staff member just came through and actually physically reminded people to keep their distance, which was nice to see. The red panda likes to sleep in her tree. I saw in the news recently, was it the Columbus Zoo? The red panda escaped.
Oh no.
I don't know if they found it yet. So there's actually a sign here that says, limited viewing space, please stay at least 6 feet apart, be courteous of others by limiting viewing time to 1 minute if people are waiting. Which people are definitely waiting. This is a bad backup bottleneck here. So there's a staff member here telling us when we can go. We've got the 6 feet markers on the wall. Okay, thank you. So it's the aquarium that's causing the little bit of a backup. I can see why this would be a favorite where people would want to stop and look. We're just gonna continue walking through slowly.
They are social distancing.
The fish are not social distancing? He's right.
Wait,
But well, they're in a family group.
and they are in water.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah.
I do like this part too, but it is, people would want to stop and look at this and, oh my gosh, look at that turtle.
Look at that Grizzly fish. I think
Yeah, he's a big turtle. Hey, buddy. Oh, he lost a fin. He lost 2 fins. He's still swimming okay.
Why is he doing that?
Save the sea turtles. Please don't use plastic straws. They've also added protective plastic around the lemurs. They also had it by the gibbons and the otters. But they don't seem to be concerned about reptiles. They only seem to be concerned about mammals.
Because they're like us.
Yeah. Especially primates. They definitely seem quite concerned about the primates. So the Minnesota Trail is over there. We just came out of the Tropics Trail. It is a little bit mind-bending to be doing everything backwards. And I did notice one thing. One cool thing about it is you're seeing things from a new angle that you never noticed before. But all the actual zoo signage that like explains the animals and like conservation things is facing the wrong way. So unless you turn around and look at it, you're gonna miss a lot of signage, but maybe that's a good thing because then people aren't stopping and reading it. We're very anxious to get outside. It was very hot in there and quite difficult to stay away from people. The food court is closed. They're not really offering any food right now. I know that they were doing like a limited number of people can be in the gift shop at once, but that's what it said online, but it doesn't look like they're stopping people from going in and out, so maybe that wasn't right. This is only the second hand sanitizer thing I've seen.
I've seen like 4.
Did you see any on the trails?
No, I saw 2.
We're gonna skip the penguins because that's very tight in there and we don't feel comfortable doing that. There is plenty of different places you could stand outside and inside to see the snow monkeys. Yeah, see what I mean? Oh, and they've got it roped off so the kids don't climb the rocks. This is the main entrance where we would normally come in, and there's guest services. You can see it's all closed off. This door that in one of our previous videos we walked straight out to go to the Northern Trail is blocked off, and they're funneling everybody this way toward Discovery Bay, but I can't imagine they're gonna be letting anybody touch anything in there right now. Nope. Oh yeah, they've got it all roped off. They've got things across so nobody touches. They've got things across so you don't get too close to the glass, so you're not touching the glass. There was a cuttlefish tank there. Yeah, they've taken that out. I think I saw it over there last time. Yeah, I love the cuttlefish. There's probably not any Hawaiian monk seal shows right now. Are the Hawaiian monk seals even in here? I do not see them.
Oh, look there. That's not a dolphin. That's a...
Oh. It's a monk seal. The dolphins got moved to a different zoo a few years ago.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Here's the... Oh! Something else new. These are new. There used to be different jellyfish here. Okay, so after that rather abbreviated Discovery Bay experience, they are funneling us outside. The only place you can get food is out here. They said they have limited options at the Grizzly Coast Cafe. And you can see there are some people here like picnicking a little bit. We purposely had a late breakfast from McDonald's in the car on the way up, and then we will have an early supper after we leave here because you can't really get food here right now. So you can still get treats, but you notice they're not accepting cash. The show thing is closed, and I'm sure that and all interactive stuff is closed. So the splash pad is turned off. There's 2 outdoor playgrounds here at the zoo, which are both closed. This is the Woodland Adventure one, and it's closed. And then there's that other one over by the carousel, which that and the carousel are also closed. Ben and I just stopped to use this restroom right here, right by the Grizzly Coast Cafe and the not open splash pad. And it is super modern and fancy inside. I've obviously never used it before because I would remember that. Quick consultation with Meg. What's your thoughts on the crowd level?
I'm not personally comfortable with it.
I'm not either.
Even just in general, there's way too many people and it's making me really anxious.
This is a lot of people for just a Monday morning normally for the zoo. And people really suck
They're not
at keeping their distance.
Like no one's respecting it. And people keep touching the things they're not supposed to touch.
A kid touched me. Granted, it was just my legs, but still. The entire Amur leopard exhibit is blocked off, which I very much understand because Amur leopards are extremely endangered. So they definitely don't want to risk them getting sick. Also, the entire tiger base camp is closed. There's been at least 5-7 tigers that have gotten the virus. They obviously don't want to endanger them because they're already endangered. Half the people on this section of trail, like through the Grizzly Coast area, no masks. Whole families, no masks. No masks in sight. And there is basically no employees stationed on this trail at all to enforce it. Was that guy a teenager?
No, he was an adult.
He didn't look like an adult to me.
He was definitely an adult.
He was a big guy, but he wasn't very old. And he was basically just saying hi to people as they walked by, including the people with no masks, and not saying anything to them. No camel rides right now. And I don't think you can go into the llama thing either. The llamas are in there, but yeah, they're not letting people in there. Oh look, more people without masks. The wild horses are over that little hill. And the camels are over there. It is easier to stay away from people out here, but if you want to actually stop and look at animals, then you end up getting a crowd around you, and that makes us very uncomfortable, especially when whole families aren't wearing masks. Okay, we've come to the place where the restrooms, little snack stand is open. We're not going to go to the farm. The playground is closed. The carousel is closed. And you cannot go into the Asian wild dog exhibit inside. It's closed. Okay, the new tiger exhibit appears to be completed. Last time we were here, I guess last time we were here was for the jack-o'-lantern spectacular.
Yeah.
Last October. You can look at the tigers here. Oh my gosh, look at this thing. It's cool.
Look, the tiger.
It's a big giant tiger.
Oh, wow.
That's so cool. Oh, they got a nice big pond,
Yeah.
but I don't see the tigers.
No.
They have a very big exhibit though. They could be all the way back on the end where it was blocked off. We're not sure, but it looks like they've added some stuff here to the World of Birds Show amphitheater. Looks nice. It's closed right now, no shows. And this is what the tiger exhibit looks like from this side. It's really nice. They have this big waterfall, but we don't see the tigers anywhere. Although they could be down there, or they could be all the way the other end of the exhibit where it was closed off. And that was either to protect the tigers or because there's a lot of interactive touch stuff. Hi, we're back to the car. We were here for less than 2 hours. That's the shortest we've ever spent at the zoo, I think. Oh, except for maybe that one time we came and it was so crazy busy on a Saturday that we left.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was the time I think we were trying to come in the winter.
Yeah.
But it was so crazy busy, we were like, this is insane, and we left.
That's right. We came, but we decided it was too busy, and so we didn't stay. We didn't even go in.
Right. We'd never gone on a Saturday before, and it was insane. And it was before the pandemic started. We're going to talk about the good and the bad. Normally, the Minnesota Zoo is an all-day experience for us. We were saying as we were walking around, there's a lot of things that are cutting down on your amount of time you're going to be spending here. Such as, there's no food offerings, really. The playgrounds are closed. The carousel's closed. A lot of the exhibits are closed. And then the fact that you have to walk around in a single direction, you're sort of having to go around at the same pace as the people around you.
Yeah, you don't really
You kind of
get a
have to
choice.
keep moving. And there were even some places where they knew people would want to stop and look, where there were signs that said, please keep your time viewing this exhibit to 1 minute.
Oh,
It said 1 minute.
Oh, I didn't say that. I saw the ones that said limited viewing space, keep your distance.
No, but there were also signs at some places that said, please look for no more than 1 minute and then move on, so that other people could come in behind you. So there was definitely a lot of things at play that would keep the visit abbreviated, let's say. It was kind of sad and disappointing for it to be like that, because I didn't mind the masks.
Yeah.
I don't mind wearing the mask at all. And it was only 72 degrees, but we were hot.
Mm-hmm.
The sun just felt hot. We were kind of hot, but I still didn't mind
Right.
the masks.
Like, my face never got
sweaty or anything. No. I mean, we were fine with the masks on. And so that really wasn't an issue for me at all, that we had to wear masks. But it was just that the zoo isn't like it normally is. It's really a kind of, what am I trying to say? It's like half of what it normally would.
I know what you're talking about.
There's a word.
There's a word.
There's a word.
Oh, no.
I can't think of it. So it's just not the same as it is normally. But that's not their fault. They obviously put a lot of thought and effort into. I can see what their number one priority is. Their number one priority is protecting the animals. They really put a lot of thought and consideration into how to protect the animals from the virus. And that's something I don't think a lot of people are thinking about, is animals can get this virus too.
Right.
Like I mentioned at one point, I just read an article the other day about a German Shepherd, Buddy, who died of the virus. He got sick from his owner and died. So if you're not going to wear the mask for yourself or the people around you, please wear it for your dog. Okay, so anyway, they put a lot of thought and a lot of signage, and they marked the zoo out and they mapped it all out with this one-way route and everything. I don't know that one-way route works.
Yeah, I'm not sure about it.
I don't know that actually helped at all. I mean, it sort of speeds you through is what it does.
Yeah.
But I don't think it really helped with the social distancing aspect.
Right.
Because it actually kind of forced you to be closer to people in a lot of spots.
It limited where you could go.
Right.
And it limited the ability to spread out.
It limited your ability to get away from people.
Yeah, you had nowhere to go. You were just on this one path the entire time. You didn't have a choice to.
Right.
If you wanted to go down this different path, there was only one point. It was by where the camel rides usually are, that we could
make a
branch
choice,
off,
and there were 3 different ways you could go. You all end up back at the same place, but like there was one place right by the grizzly bears where we literally got trapped between 2 families, nobody wearing masks, and we were stuck between them, and we had no way to get away from them. And so because of that, I really don't think that one-way thing is effective.
Yeah.
Because they don't give you any, you can't come up and go, oh, this part is too crowded, guys, let's go over to this section instead. You can't do that. So that, I think, was a negative. The other thing that was very concerning, again, masks were required. Masks are the law in Minnesota where we are, and they told you when you came in, which I mentioned, and they scanned your tickets, please make sure you keep your masks on the entire time you are in the zoo. It is required. She was very firm on it when she scanned my tickets, but I only saw one zoo employee inside the actual zoo who was doing anything in what you could call enforcement of anything.
Yeah.
And it was the girl who came and was reminding people to stay spaced out from each other at that one bottleneck in the Tropics Trail where everybody got backed up. But she was saying it, she wasn't, I mean, the one thing I noticed, the average age of the employees working today was like 20. They were like college kids. And I feel kind of bad for them that these are the people that are being left to deal with this. You know, we were so uncomfortable with how many people did not have their masks on at all. I mean, their masks weren't, not only were they not on, I didn't even see their masks. They weren't holding them, they weren't around their neck, nothing. I don't even know if they had masks. I mean, they had to get in, but
Right.
where the masks were, I don't know. And there were so many people on that northern trail that didn't have their masks on. And I kept looking for some sort of responsible looking person of authority that I could say something to, because they didn't have any employees out on the northern trail. And so there was no way that they could see that this was happening. And so I wasn't going to say anything to the people who didn't have their masks on, but I wanted to say something to the zoo staff so that they would be aware. It'd probably be a good idea if you posted more employees along this northern trail
So that they can
to
enforce
remind people
masks.
and that they should be keeping their masks on the whole time. Or like what Disney's doing. Disney in the parks and at Disney Springs and stuff, they literally just hold signs that say, you know, you must keep your mask on, you must keep 6 feet apart. And so when they see people not doing it, they literally just hold the sign up in their face and point at it. So the people are like, oh, you know. So they don't even have to get into a confrontation with the people. They don't have to ever speak to the people. I think that's actually a really good idea because, and Disney keeps adding more of those cast members who do that. They literally just walk around with those signs. So there's no way that you can avoid it.
Yeah.
You know, and they're making eye contact with the people and being like, you know, so it did kind of, I got the impression that the zoo is short-staffed. Did
Yeah,
you get that
me
impression? Very few employees around, you know.
I think besides the food stand people, 4 employees.
Is that
who
what
I can remember?
That you remember seeing?
Yes. There was
Saying hi to us when we came in.
saying hi to us when we came in.
And goodbye when we left.
Yeah,
Same person.
that was the same person. I mean, like stationed throughout the zoo.
Stationed throughout the zoo, yeah.
There was the one guy who was talking to the people who didn't have masks
and didn't
not
say
enforcing
anything to
it.
them. He just was like, hey.
There was one lady by, like, where you go down to the farm.
Yep. She was on her walkie-talkie because she was requesting a wheelchair for somebody.
Yeah,
She looked like she would have been somebody good for me to talk to, but there were a lot of people around
yeah.
her, and I didn't want to try to talk to her at the moment.
The lady you did tell had moved from her station right
Oh, did she?
at the beginning of the Northern Trail.
So maybe
it was the same woman.
Maybe they're rotating
Maybe
around.
they're rotating. And then the lady who in that bottleneck on the Tropics
That
Trail
came and told everybody to space out.
Space out.
You're right, that was it.
That's it.
That's it. That's all they
Throughout the entire zoo.
And the zoo is huge. I mean, we got through it in 2 hours, but it's a very, very big, large property. And that's a lot of space to cover. So my guess is that they don't have enough people
Yeah.
to cover the area. I am also, again, quite surprised at how many people are here on a Monday morning. It's only 1:30 right now. And the other thing is, I mean, I can see every car in this parking lot right now. There's not that many cars. It feels like there's way more people inside the zoo than cars.
I don't know. I feel like there are a lot of cars here right now that would match the numbers.
Number of people? I mean, I suppose you could have 6 people in a car.
Yes, but
You know, but
I feel like our definitions of a lot of cars must be different, because I look at this parking lot and I see a lot of cars. It's almost full, and I think it definitely accommodates for how many people are.
This parking
inside.
lot, I know though for a fact that this parking lot is way smaller than the one on the other side where we usually go in.
Okay, but there's still a lot of cars.
I don't know, there's also a lot of empty spaces. What do you think, Ben? How did you
There are
feel?
a lot of cars.
Now, how did you feel in the zoo? Thanks for those
Ben doesn't-
insightful thoughts.
I'm tired.
Ben's tired from walking around. We definitely got our steps in. I mean, we walked the whole zoo except we did not go to the farm.
Yeah, which we don't usually do.
Yeah, the farm is...
It's not like it's nice, but
Yeah.
it's not like some big thing.
You gotta
to
see it every time.
And it does get very hot out there.
Yeah. Smelly. And, I mean, there's that little ice cream parlor out there, which is nice and stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
but I don't think we'd be able to go in.
Go,
and
it's
get ice
probably
cream.
closed, yeah. And I'm sure they're not doing the tractor that gives people rides
Yeah.
to and from. So, okay, so I guess I still want you to support your local zoo and know that they are doing the best they can to protect you, the guests, and the animals. But it is going to be a significantly diminished experience from what it is. Okay, well, thank you guys for joining us today. I hope that this helped you see what the experience of going to a zoo is like right now during the pandemic.
And of course, this isn't going to be. I mean, it might not be how every zoo is.
No, true.
But
And it won't
is
hopefully be like this forever.
right. But it's an example.
Yeah, it's an example, and I hope that it's helpful to you if you want to go to the Minnesota Zoo or any other zoo like this, that you can kind of see what they're doing. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please be sure to subscribe. And if this video was helpful to you, or you like this video, please be sure to give us a thumbs up. Thanks everyone, and safe travels.
Safe travels.